Hey, what's up guys? Thetcglover here, coming with a video today. Now, earlier today I made a video talking about how to side effectively this format. Now, what I thought I would do as well was actually just basically go over my actual side deck. It's not completely done yet, but I feel like I can talk about each card individually. Using the logic that I applied in the last video, I think I can make a really decent side deck which hits a bunch of different decks over the board, but not every deck, because it's really difficult to hit every single deck this format effectively. But you know, you can still hit pretty much everything. Obviously, you have to take in consideration your actual main deck and actually see if it's actually going to hurt you as well. I mean, for that reason, I can't exactly run Goes and Match because my deck runs a whole bunch of different attributes, so I can't exactly do anything about that. But there are sides that I can do which will really help. So anyway, let's have a little talk about the different sides that I've put. So I've come up with 15 sides. I think there's 14 or 15 right now. But anyway, if you feel like there's a side card which you really like this format, definitely do comment down below and mention it, and I might consider it. And I really love to hear your opinions. And for everyone who's asked to see my new gadget build for this format, it's actually coming very soon. I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm just missing a couple of cards and I'm going to try and get hold of them. So that is that. Anyway, the first two side cards is 2 Gen X Allied Durodark. I mentioned this in my video. I run 2 of these because I can actually go Tin Goldfish, summon this, pop a card like Ophion or a Dark World, and then just go into there and make Gigant X. It's also searchable by Gigant X, so having a searchable side card is actually really effective. Way more effective than anything else you could possibly put in your side. As long as you can get to your side cards with your own means rather than having to just draw them, actually makes them really effective. It's the reason why Eradicator Epidemic Virus going to 1 is actually giving Prophecies a lot more of a boost than they really should have, because there's actually no way to search there's no way to search the Eradicator whatsoever, so you just have to hope you draw that one out to them. So it's a real pain in the ass having to deal with them unless you side it another way. So 2 Gen X Allied Durodark is what I put in there, because I feel it hits a whole bunch of different decks and I like it. I also have, for specific reasons, I have 2 hand traps, Maxi and Veiler, and I have an MST. I run 2 MST in my deck, so I run a third one in case I go against stuff like Chainburn. I guess Mermails, I could put it against them as well. Effect Veiler and Maxi. Sometimes I play against Dark World, so Veiler doesn't really help me, so I can take out my Veilers and put in Maxi instead, so I always draw. And if I'm playing against stuff like Eva Swarm, I can take out all of my stuff, because Maxi and Veiler doesn't really help against anything in Eva Swarm anymore, now that Rabbit's down to 1. So you can put in other cards instead, like Durodark. So it's basically just for when you want to max out. For instance, when I play Mermails, I do want to play 3 Maxis in my main deck, just for that. I run D-Fissure. I could run Macro and Soul Drain, but I just felt like it's more of a case of space issues. I do have a lot of things that I can use to beat Mermails already, so I don't feel like I need to go crazy on my banishing. A lot of people feel like running 1 of each card is obviously mandatory because you can't run any more than that. So you can if you want. If you want to dedicate 3 of your side deck to Macro, Fissure and Soul Drain, but I personally don't see the point because there are better sides really. Anyway, I run the 3 viruses. I run 2 Deck Devastation Virus because I can tribute King of the Feral Imps to do it, and 1 Eradicator because you can only run 1. If I could run 2, I would run 2, and so on like that, because this card actually hits a lot of decks, as it did last format. It actually does hit a lot of cards, so that's why I run it. Obviously Prophecy completely lose when you use it on them, because they can't summon Priestess, they can't do anything. And Dex Devastation Virus is simply for being able to hit Mermails, being able to hit a few other decks. There isn't many to hit, but I feel like when you have Dex Devastation Virus, it really does come into its own when you do actually pull it off. It makes your opponent take a huge neg sometimes, and it can just win you the game straight outright. That's why the virus cards are hated so much. And I think I have I do have Malevolent Catastrophe. This card is an iffy one because a lot of people are saying it's suddenly now back in favor again because the format is slower, there's more traps and so on like that. However, I feel like this card is only really decent against Fire Fists. It's the only iffy card in my extra deck which I really feel like doesn't really need to be in here, but I have it in here just for the sole purpose of when you play Fire Fists and they go crazy on the back row, you can just use this against them and it completely screws them up. No deck is playing Starlight Road anymore, and obviously Solemn Judgment is banned. This will probably go off when you actually use it on them. Obviously, even cards that are brought back by something like Call the Haunted, this card allows you to destroy the monster that's attacking as well, which is really, really beneficial. And obviously the last 4 cards, which I was really highlighting in my last video, was Debunk and Imperial Iron Wall, and I play 2 of each one. So we have 2 Imperial Iron Wall, and we have the MVP of the side, which is 2 Debunk. Now, really, really good side cards. I just can't stress this enough. When I was at Brussels and I played in side events, I sided these in against Mermails, against Dragon Plants, against Prophecy. Unfortunately, when I played Prophecy, I did not see these, even though I put in all of them. I did not draw any of them, so I lost really quickly. But generally, if you were to play more than 1 game or 2 games, then you will see these come up, and then when they do, they put in so much work. Being able to stop Fate, being able to stop Priestess's effect, is pretty much game. You can just basically turn all their monsters into vanillas. It makes a lot of their cards dead. They can't really do anything, so it's a really good side card at the moment. Especially against Dragon Plants, they can't banish anything, so really, really good. And Debunk is just amazing. It's so good. It's better to run cards that are reactive, that you wait for your opponent to do something and then you activate it. Obviously I said that Spell Shattering Arrow is bad, but Debunk is way more generic in the sense that you hit so many more cards. Anything that's in the hand or graveyard, you just negate and banish. So every time you activate a Dragon Ruler, you negate and banish. Every time they activate Tidal, you negate and banish from the Mermails. Every time they activate Megalo, you negate and banish. Every time they activate Abyssland, you negate and banish. There are so many things that you can do with this card, and it's only until you start siding it and testing it out that you realize that this card is incredible, and it's what's bringing me forward. I can't run 3 because of extra deck space, but if I really feel like Dragons and Mermails are really the dominant decks of this format, then it can easily come up to 3, and I'd be quite happy with that, just so I can see it more often. And that's pretty much my side deck. It's not completely done, as I said, but I feel like right now it hits a whole bunch of different decks in a much more generic, broad sense than it did last format, because last format you could really have to focus on how to beat dragons and so on like that. As I said in my last video, definitely do comment down below cards which you're playing in your side deck this format. I'm completely fine with showing my side deck to you guys, because you probably won't ever play me in real life, and I'm completely fine with giving away secrets and letting people understand how good certain cards are, because if you don't side well enough this format, you're going to get run over in games 2 and 3, because other people will side against you even if you're playing a deck that's not relevant. It's not like last format where you could get away with playing a tier 2 deck and nobody would have any sides for you. This time it's very generic, broad extra side decking, so you're always going to have something they're always going to have something to take you down, even if it's very, very minor things. You won't see it coming and you go, oh wow, why are you siding that card? So that's pretty much it. So that's why I'm saying, I'm just warning you now, if you're going to play this format a lot, definitely do prepare yourself with a good side deck. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and until next time guys, the Thetcglover is out.